Well, week 8 is winding down here as we're on the final day. I'm joined right now by Dhokla from CLG to talk about how things have been going. Of course, this cover is brought to you by Alienware. So, Dhokla, we were just talking about for this. There's some tiebreakers that might sort out things, so maybe we'll end up incorrect or something. But I think you guys are locked out of top 3, unfortunately. I think you mentioned in an interview you thought you guys would get top 3, but you did not specify if it was split or playoffs, which I believe is the same technicality Doublelift is using to try to avoid eating a shoe. So, was it split or playoffs for you?
It was playoffs,
Okay.
but I would have taken the split as well if it meant eating the shoe. But obviously, we didn't get top 3, so
Okay.
missed out on that opportunity. But looking to get it in playoffs.
Okay. All right. So what went wrong right here at the end? Because I think going into this weekend, you guys were tied for top 3.
Yeah, I mean, so we went 1-2 on the Super Week, and I think individually I played really bad, at least in the first 2 games. So I would put a majority of the blame on me, at least. So I mean, those past 2 days were pretty rough for me because I was like really down on myself. But I'm glad we got a win today against Immortals. I mean, I hope we could win against Immortals. So and that's not like a big confidence boost, but it's like a step in the right direction going into playoffs.
Yes. All right, so you guys ended 11-7, which people might not realize that's kind of a meme because for a long time CLG used to finish 7-11 multiple times. You guys have now flipped it, but what do you feel? How do you feel about the 11-7 conclusion? I know obviously you want a top 3, but are you happy with that result? I mean, it is pretty good for CLG.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good looking compared to where we started and the expectations that everyone had for us to split. So it's not necessarily a disappointment. Obviously, going 1-2 in this last week, we probably should have went 2-1. At least should have won against TSM. Maybe 100 Thieves, up in there, but leaving a bit of a sour taste in the mouth, right? But overall, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's a pretty successful split going into playoffs. So gonna try to look at that as like the perspective of going into playoffs and not like be too hard on myself going for going 1-2 this past week.
Are there any teams, and if so, which ones would you like to avoid going into playoffs? Depending on how brackets are built.
I think we're probably playing C9 most likely. So we're I mean, I don't think we have a say there, but I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to play like EG or whoever the 1-2 seeds are, or probably just EG, right? I think they're the strongest by far. So, but at the same time, it's like if we want to win, we're gonna have to face everyone. I know everyone says that, but it's like really, you just have to play better on the day, even though they might have your number the whole split. Like if you're better on the day, then anything can happen. So, I mean that's playoffs. So, just really just down and face anyone really, and need to just get better these next coming weeks.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Is EG the biggest threat you think in playoffs? Because 100 Thieves has been on the rise recently, and there's been discussion about if they're not getting the credit that they deserve.
I think 100 is definitely a lot better than at least what I expected of them previously, because I didn't think they were that good before, but they're definitely a lot better now. But at the same time, I think I played really bad, probably my worst game this whole split, potentially. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I don't want to in my head, I don't want to put them on a pedestal of they played amazing. I know I played bad, so I'm still confident that we can beat them. I think I just had a bad day, so it's gonna happen. And if we face them again, I'm gonna be confident going into that series as well.
Very good. Well, I know a lot of CLG fans are still very excited with the performance that you guys put up this split. Is there anything you want to say to any of them?
I mean, going 11-7 is really successful for us this split compared to where we started. So I'm really glad about that. And honestly, going into playoffs, it's like we're kind of people don't really know what to expect from us. I think ourselves as well. We don't know what iteration of CLG is going to show up. So honestly, if we don't know, the enemy team won't know as well. So we're going to have the natural advantage going into playoffs. And at that point, it's we're already in the lead. So gonna come into playoffs unknown, a dark horse.
You said you guys don't know what to expect. Is that also the same for what you guys look like in a best of 5? Because that is obviously the big change for playoffs, right? Yeah. So I don't know if you're oh yeah, thank God we have best of 5s because if I have an off game, then we're good for the next 4 or whatever. But or if you're oh God, maybe it's easier to sometimes get a win off in those best of ones.
I think over the course of a best of 5, I think meta is really important and what matchups specifically are going to be played. So that's like the biggest thing, and I just want to be as prepared as I can be going into a best of 5 series where I'm comfortable on both sides of like any matchup, and that's the biggest importance for me going into playoffs. So I don't want to ever feel like I don't have any options of counter picking or blind picking. That's my biggest concern going into playoffs.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Dhokla, for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, thank you so much for watching that interview. I know normally I make some stupid joke here and it doesn't make sense and you're like, well, that's why you're sticking around. This time I have something different for you. I have, for the first time in my relationship with Alienware, which transcends all this time, all the way back to the end of 2018, a situation where we're doing something different with the partnership. Now, if you purchase something through the link that is in this description, I will actually have a cut of it go towards Travis Gafford Industries, TGI. So it's a very different type of thing where I know some of you guys tried to use that link before. You've tried to use the promo codes. Please make sure that you use the link now because that will actually really help. And so that's the first time we've done something like that. So thank you so much for watching. Please hit that link if you're going to buy an Alienware product, and just know that some of that will come back to TGI if you do.